Nice walk in. Now what I want to do is set up my winter goose down underquilt, modify it so I can get more lift from it. So I bought some things to modify it with. I bought 20 meters of 4mm shock cord. That's what 20 meters of 4mm shock cord looks like. Just needs unraveling. And a little bag of tricks. Before I put up the hammock, I'm going to start on the modifications because it looks like it's going to rain. One hammock, some spare cord, my basher, little bag of tricks. So the actual hammock underquilt is by Hammock Gear, and that's a company in the US. This is the 0 degree winter underquilt. I'm going to remove the shock cord that runs in this channel, replace it with this thicker 4mm, and I'm not going to join them up from head to foot. They run through the channel separately, and that's really important. Just going to get my knife and cut out this old suspension on the shock cord, and I'm going to take out all that shock cord that runs through the channel. I don't like these glasses. They go dark in the sun, only it's not a brown kind of sunglasses colour. They go pretty dark, almost black. Make me look like a right twit. I'm going to get the two ends like this with the shock cord and find the centre. There's the end. Give that a cut. And start feeding the 4mm. Do you know, it looks like 6mm to me, but I'm just going to trust the manufacturer has actually sent the correct stuff, but 6mm would have done. 6 or 4mm. Oh, this is going through nice. Yep, this isn't going to take long at all, not as long as I thought. So why change the channel suspension anyway? For me, a winter quilt is a lot heavier than my goose down summer quilt. Now I can just modify the secondary suspension to get the same effect of what I'm doing now, which is trying to get more elevation, more lift from your underquilt, rather than trying to get that lift through hanging it off the end of your hammock, which I'm not a fan of. And you can use whatever trick in your arsenal to try and achieve this. I modify quite a lot of gear if I feel it needs it, especially hammocks. After all, who doesn't put in their own suspension? Who doesn't change the carabiners from the ones you get from a hammock when you buy it? I know I do. I buy better carabiners. I buy better tree straps. We all do. We all do, I think. It can't just be me. Right, it's coming out the end here now. So this is a modification that I do. Here it comes. It's just caught up in some of the underquilt material. I have 10 meters of cord. I said it sounded a lot, but I do want to pull it through and have an equal amount of either side of the underquilt, because I'm going to suspend it not from the end of the hammock. I suspend mine a lot higher up. This is working nice. And you'll have a loop on the end, and a lot of people stretch this loop from the end of the hammock. I always get a knife and cut that to have a left and a right, because I like my underquilt to ride over the top of the hammock and not be underslung, and it makes a hell of a difference. You don't want your feet pushing down on this cord here. Okay, I have threaded just one of the sides there, and hopefully I have sort of an equal amount that I've pulled through. Now this cord here I will trim to size. Now it starts coming through the channel there, comes out the other side and off into the distance up there. And I don't gain lift by putting it to the end of the hammock. I know a lot of people do, but it's a modification. You don't have to do this. I do though. I've got another one to do here. I am actually kneeling on my tarp. I would get very cold knees this time of the year doing this, so it is a job you can do at home. And just thread it through the love tunnel there. I can get so far pushing it, then I need to start gathering it. I have these here, little cord locks. Bring this through, come on, there you are. I move this now, this little cord lock, all the way down. Remember, we've got plenty of line to play with. Stop it about there, it'll stop this falling through. That's your first modification. I'm going to put the hammock up just so we can get to the next stage. In winter I have my hammock hung a lot lower to the deck. I know that I'll have less convection doing it this way. I'm just going to put the underquilt straight to the actual tree beaner suspension. Now I'm going to use a quick release slip knot at first until we get the next bit of hardware out. Now we thread some 4mm, looks like 6 to me, but it'll work, through the channel line. When it came out, we put this on, which has a job to do, straight to the beaner. A few grams by switching from 4 to 6mm. It's not a back breaker. Another modification, you need to close everything on the underquilt head and foot end around you, and for that I need another 2 S-beaners. I've got some in my pack. So what do I mean about closing up the gap? Simple. So here's the channel lines in grey, along with these little 2 cinch toddles I put on, which have dual purpose. I'm going to put an S-beaner at head and foot end. So channel line comes out, there's the cord locks we put on, and there's the S-beaner that sits between the cord locks and the end of the channel, and it stops the underquilt splaying out. Now I haven't done the other end, so you can see what I mean. When I get in, it'll splay outwards like that, and it does that because it's coming to its nearest anchor point, which is there for us. There's one on there, one on there. It moves freely up and down. Let's bring these down a little more. All the lift is from the channel line to the anchor point. What if, it rains, I hear you say, that it could go to the end of your basher, your tarp, the webbing. It can go to there and have the same effect of getting that lift. We're going to have a look now to see how much this S-beaner at the end of the hammock here is going to wrap around my feet and my shoulders. Oh, I'm a lot lower to the ground than I've ever been used to. The underquilt is not that much from the ground. Let's see, here's my fist. I can just swing a fist underneath. Mental. Oh, lovely, lovely. I love it, love it, love it. So here's the Aspina. I'm just going to move it up a bit. There. We'll draw it down to there. You can see it's closing in, which gathers around the shoulders here. Now the little cinch toddles I put on, I can also bring them lower down, and it pushes the Aspina lower down. And as you saw, it brings the channel lines in and in and in until it is over your shoulder. Now, a lot of people say it slips off the shoulder in the night. Now, here it is off my shoulder. There it is on my shoulder. It's impossible for it to slip off my shoulder. So the only modification left to do is the double barrel cord locks and adjust the white channel line, which I would do from the anchor point at the tree every time. Now I'm quite happy just using a slip knot. It's a very, very simple technique to do. I've bought the hardware, so I'm going to use the hardware, and I'll leave it up to you if you want to do that or not. Oh, it's right over my feet there. So I'm in somewhat of a diagonal lie. It's only an 8-foot hammock. This is the underquilt. It is come up well over my shoulder. It is well over my toes there. So there's the beaner there, and it's closed that section down. Little toes here. Underquilt is hugged right around, and that can only be done through a modification like this. Bum is lovely and warm. Underneath of my legs are warm. Shoulders pretty warm. It needs a bit of extra loft on this side. Here's what we're looking at. One there. One there. I don't know how many of these I'm going to need. You see, this is just a simple slip knot, and I pull on this or loosen it to tighten it or give it some slack. If you're going to use hardware like this in lieu of a knot, you're going to need 4 of these double barrel cord locks. I'm just going to hook it up, and I just pull some excess through here, lifting the underquilt as I pull. There you have it. You saw that straight away. The lift from a different angle. It's lifted the fabric of the hammock. Now whether I'll choose to put barrel locks on all 4 corners, I probably won't. I'm quite happy just using a very simple slip knot. Again, it doesn't have to come to this anchor point. You can make that anchor point the end of your tarp, your basher, whatever you want to call it. So you can see the difference here between the channel lines, which are here, and the end of the hammock. The other option a lot of people do is sling it like this to the end of the hammock, and it lowers, in my opinion, this underquilt. But otherwise, look at that, the lift. Again, connected to the end of the hammock, now to a higher anchor point. You can see the lift. I am really happy with the way this turned out. Now, I can actually put underquilt up first. I'm not relying on the hammock at all to suspend the underquilt. Okay, this is the hammock. It's been removed. So I'm going to make sure I've got all the little gadgets and S-beaners and everything. I'm forever losing things. Remember, you can do this using the end of your basher. You don't need to use the anchor point from a tree. it goes up even without the hammock, and this is how I run with it. So until next time, take really good care of yourself, and I will see you out there. Happy trails.